This is Good Morning San Diego.
Turning our attention now to what to do in terms of social distancing. Etiquette is changing rapidly, of course, due to health circumstances specifically related to the coronavirus. So we thought of inviting in studio here with us is an etiquette expert on some of the rules to ignore when it comes to etiquette. We have Maryanne Parker here in studio. She is an etiquette expert, a celebrity coach, award-winning entrepreneur, author. Nice to have you here, Maryanne.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Initially, I was going to reach and shake your hand,
yes,
but that indeed is a no-no right now.
Yes, many things are changing due to the coronavirus, and the etiquette has been changing for ages, from the time of King Louis XIV, centuries ago until now. So what do? We have to definitely ignore the handshake, because this could be potentially very dangerous, and I want to preserve you, and I want to save myself as well. So we are going to ignore the handshake. So what do? We want to show some kind of a social distance, but at the same time, we want to be emotionally involved. So we're not going to be shaking hands, but I can actually lean a little bit towards you. I can put my hand on my heart, and this is the way I communicate with you. So this is the first thing that we are going to ignore.
Oh, so so for example, instead of extending your hand, you could just put it on top of your heart and say,
yes,
hello, Maryanne. Good morning. Nice to have you here.
Very nice to meet you too. Yes, this is the way we do it.
I love that idea.
So what else can change? What do we have to ignore? Usually a few weeks ago, if I extend my hand and you don't want to reciprocate, I could see it as a very rude gesture. But today I should ignore it in general, because this is the new norm. So I should ignore it.
What would you tell someone who, verbally, how do you verbally communicate that without being rude? Or do you think you should just be honest about the situation? Say, no handshake, thank you, nice to see you?
Yes, you can definitely do that, because, everybody is aware of the situation. So it's much more not only convenient, but very appropriate to do so. The third thing that I can suggest when we go to networking events, usually we carry business cards, especially if you conduct international business. Most of the people still carry business cards. With my information on the business cards, I might have my germs as well. So I shouldn't be actually presenting my business card to you. And I'm sure that we can find a common ground. I'll find you somehow. Is social media very accessible? So business card, I definitely think that is going to be out of the window.
Okay.
The fourth thing, usually we take a lot of selfies. Like I really wanted to, for example, I saw Pastor Miles and I really like him. I love his teaching, but I can't take a selfie right now, because this could be really very self-concerning. What do we do? So selfies, usually the appropriate length for is one arm.
One arm.
So we don't want to go into anybody's bubble. So this is very safe.
Got it. Yeah, maybe just instead of the selfie, just have someone take a picture.
Yes, something like that. Also, when you go to a networking event, we used to teach people that you have to carry everything in your left hand, because your right hand had to be free. You want to communicate, you want to connect, you want to introduce yourself. So this was happening with the right hand. We don't shake hands any longer. So you don't really need to carry anything in your left hand. It's up to you where it's going to be. Another protocol rule is when you go to a high-profile event and you don't miss the reception table, they give you a name tag, right? So usually this name tag goes on the right side. The reason being was a protocol rule that when you extend your hand for a handshake, I follow the arm. I follow my arm, I can see your name. Because if I meet 200 people per week, I can't really remember their names. So this is a kind of a reminder for me to remember your name. So I think that this is going to be out as well.
Yeah, there's so many little changes, but in the end, it's okay. Most people will understand. And if someone forgets, because I got to tell you, sometimes I still struggle with the hugging. I'm a hugger, or the handshaking.
Yes.
It's okay for the other person. Don't hesitate to say, oh, I'm sorry. Nice to see you.
It's going to take a little bit of time, because it's a pattern. We've been doing it for so many years. So usually it takes about 21 days to break a pattern and to get into a new habit. So I believe that this is going to be the same thing, but hopefully it's going to be faster. And the one thing that is not going to change, to be kind to each other.
Oh, yeah, that's always important.
Yeah, that's
right?
important.
I know Pastor Miles talked about that.
Yes.
Maryanne Parker, thank you so much. Etiquette expert, founder of a Luxury Etiquette Institute and Manner of Manners.
Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Thank you.